So this is the treatment. NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Ibuprofen, diclofenac, meloxicam, aceclofenac, celecoxib, all those. These are drugs that come in to limit the pain. But when you fix the pain, have you fixed the cause? They are anti-inflammatory. They are fixing the inflammation. Perfect. But when you fix the inflammation, have you fixed the cause? If you haven't fixed the cause, what does that mean? It means if this drug goes down in the system, the next thing that is going to happen is the inflammation is going to come back. And of course, you take a drug and the liver metabolizes it and then excretes it in the system. So by the time the drug is leaving the system, you have to take another drug to top up so that the inflammation keeps on being suppressed. But you're suppressing the inflammation, but the condition is still there. You've not suppressed the cause, you've suppressed the symptoms. So therefore, NSAIDs are supposed to be used to fix the symptoms as you fix the causes. However, we've said that one of the causes of this disease is a messed up gut and also destroying the integrity of the gut wall, right? Did you know the mode of action of NSAIDs? They block the production of prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are the chemical agents, or sometimes they are classified as hormones, that actually protect your gut wall. So when you take NSAIDs, specifically the COX-1 inhibitors, the aspirins, the diclofenac, the meloxicam, these are coming in to destroy your gut wall. Therefore, they'll expose you more to the same disease. So are NSAIDs useful in this condition? Are they? we came in late, tulichelewa, lakini we must whip the system. So now, we've used NSAIDs to heal a problem that was initiated by NSAIDs. Are we fixing anything? That's the answer for you to, that's you to answer. Number 2, steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So we just move from non-steroidal, the NSAIDs, we come to steroidal, which are steroids. What did we say about steroids? Class, what did we say about steroids? Steroids and the gut problems? Let me wait to see that. What about abdominal pain? That they have done all tests but cannot find anything. So they said it is psychosomatic, pain without physical causes. They might be right, but look at it this way. I told you that about 90% of diseases that we suffer from are coming from the kyongs. What we call the hypochondria. Have you heard of hypochondria? Hypochondria is you thinking you have a disease and you have a pain and then you start having the pain. So possibly that could be the issue. But again, check out the history. Check out the diet. Check out medication history. Check out the family history. Okay? Check out any underlying condition. Like right now, they've confirmed there's none. But previously, was there any underlying condition? Once you do that, you will understand it better. Check out the diet first. That is the most important part. So yes, we say good answers here. So listen, steroids, external steroids are supplementing what we are unable to produce from the adrenal glands. So one, we will shut down the adrenals. Number 2, we will have problems because steroids, they thin the gut wall. The NSAIDs, they cause perforations and they destroy the prostaglandins. The steroids, they thin the gut wall and they expose it to more harm. Now listen, you see, I've talked about NSAIDs and the mode of action of NSAIDs. We have cell membrane, the cell membrane phospholipids. They are broken down by an enzyme called phospholipase A2. They give you something called arachidonic acid. Do not cram this, just understand that. We have the cell membrane, which has cholesterol. That cholesterol is broken down by phospholipase to give you arachidonic acid. Now, that arachidonic acid is acted upon by 2 enzymes. One is lipooxygenase, which gives you the leukotrienes that modulate asthma. And then the other side, you have the cyclooxygenase, the COX. And the COX gives you prostaglandins that protect your gut, that actually cause contraction of the uterus when you're having the menses or you're giving birth, that actually protect your kidneys and cause patency of the blood vessels that supply the kidneys. So they improve blood flow towards the kidneys. So when you take NSAIDs, they block that enzyme called COX. Therefore, you cannot form prostaglandins that will modulate pain, will modulate inflammation, will cause contraction of the uterus, that will actually cause the patency of the opening of the blood vessels that supply the kidneys. Therefore, NSAID destroy the kidneys. NSAID cause retention of the uterine wall when a woman is getting the menstrual cycle, that wall has to go out. But these ones, because they block the contraction, they retain the wall, and therefore woman starts to get infections. So therefore, ladies, if you're intending to use any painkiller, use paracetamol or use hyoscine butyl bromide. Okay, because this is the anti-motility, the antispasms, and painkillers like paracetamol only. If you use diclofenac, if you use aceclofenac, meloxicam, all that, you retain that wall, you start getting the infections, and some of you will suffer secondary infertility. And then when you use NSAIDs, you block that production of those prostaglandins that protect the gut. Therefore, ulcers is coming in. Therefore, perforation of the gut is coming in. Now, you see that chain. On the first level, we have breakdown of cholesterol or the phospholipids in the cell membrane to form arachidonic acid. That enzyme called phospholipase A2, that is the enzyme that is blocked by steroids. So you see, steroids just act a step higher than the NSAIDs. All of them have the same mode of action, only at different steps. You see that? Is NSAID like etorixef? Etorix is etoricoxib. Those are the coxibs. They are called selective COX-2 inhibitors. They are safe in the gut, but they are dangerous to the kidneys and the heart. So they will not cause you the ulceration, and they are safe for people who have ulcers, but they are not safe for people who have hypertension and kidney problems. So be cautious. So steroids block the first step of formation of prostaglandins. And then down after we've made the COX, we made the arachidonic acid, that's where now where the NSAIDs come in. Yes, Lois, you'll be lost on this one because you're not in that profession. But now if you get, this is a deeper one, okay? So this is for those, the medical students who asked about the mode of action of the steroids and the NSAIDs. So they follow each other. So they have the same mode of action. That's why all of them destroy the gut. All of them destroy the gut. Anyway, number 3. Disease-modifying antirheumatic drugs, DMARDs. Where we have DMARDs, this is where we have the gold salts. Imagine using gold to treat a disease. Anyway, the DMARDs are classified into 2. We have the synthetic and the biological agents. The synthetic agents, listen to this. The one that most of you use it in IBS and IBD, it's called sulfasalazine. Sulfasalazine. And sulfasalazine is a combination of 2 drugs. I will not mention them here because I don't want to confuse people anymore or any further. So we have sulfasalazine. That is the major drug that is used in IBD. Now this sulfasalazine, and people who have not heard this road, just know this: sulfasalazine. All of you have heard of, I have allergy to sulfur. So yes, this one has sulfur and it will cause you very bad allergies. Number 2, it will cause oligospermia. It is actually one of the causes of infertility in men, even though it's temporary. But you see, by the time you're having an inflammatory bowel disease, you're going to take this drug for a long period of time. You're also on PPIs, and PPIs are also known to cause oligospermia. So therefore, men will be suffering from low sperm count. Number 3. This one causes a gut mess because it carries another drug inside it that is called 5-ASA. The ASA is actually the same group as aspirin. They destroy the gut. 5-acetyl-salicylic acid, a very, very gut inflammatory drug. Another one is bone marrow suppression, so therefore anemia. Now remember, the IBD itself is going to give you anemia as a complication. And then you go ahead and take a drug that is going to give you anemia later on. And also the liver toxicity. Are we solving things here? You've heard people saying, I have sulfur allergy. This sulfasalazine is going to give you more allergies. Amazing. Let's go. The biological agent, that is part of the synthetic. The biological agents, and I told you when you get to these names, they will scare you. Listen to this. Infliximab. Hey, you tell me how pharmacists will not cram these things when they're going for examinations. Tell me how they will not cram this. Infliximab. There is another one called Hey. Tukunywa maji bwana. Where? When you go to drugs, of course, you'll float. Definitely. So there's another one called adalimumab. Hey, adalimumab. These are drugs, my friend. So yeah, have some respect for pharmacists and pharmtechs. So we have adalimumab, we have infliximab. There is another one that is called etanercept. Okay, etanercept. So yes, so those are drugs that actually come from the same group that is called the DMARDs, disease modifying anti-rheumatic drugs. Now, hear this, because when I say DMARDs, most of you get confused. But if you hear anti-rheumatic, does it hit a bell? Rheumatoid arthritis. That's why these drugs are also used in rheumatoid arthritis. So, disease modifying, they simply modify the disease and they are anti-rheumatic. They don't treat the disease, they modify the disease. They help you cope with the disease. So they are disease modifying anti-rheumatic drugs. Have I made it easier? I think I have. Yeah, when I was just saying infliximab, adalimumab, you are like, what is this doctor saying? Now I brought something in your head now. So when you see your mother using that injection for adalimumab, you simply know that's a DMARD, can also be used in IBD. Okay? Okay, next, antibiotics. Why are we using antibiotics? Why are we using antibiotics? Because of sepsis and the risk of sepsis. But antibiotics will definitely mess up the gut microorganisms. So if you take an antibiotic, the next thing you have to do is at the end of that antibiotic therapy, you must take a probiotic. Either fermented cabbage, either mursik, either kefir, either kombucha, or anything fermented. Good. And then the next one that actually surprises me is an immunosuppressant. So imagine we are suppressing the immunity because it is overreacting. But what did we say about suppressing the immunity? We said if you suppress the immunity, you're actually suppressing the adrenal glands. So when you suppress the adrenal glands, we are unable to produce more of the natural steroids. When you are unable to produce more of the natural steroids, we are suffering. We cannot stop. Actually, if you shut down the adrenals, you are in problems. Your heart cannot beat well. You will have hypertension because the adrenals are the ones that produce aldosterone that controls blood pressure. So imagine that. So you cannot produce adrenaline, you cannot produce cortisol, you cannot produce aldosterone. So therefore, you're going to have all these problems. And these are the side effects of these drugs. They're the side effects of these drugs. Somebody saying, I'm dying of septrin side effects. Simply fix the kitchen. You start to urinate crystals, crystalluria, you know that? And also the allergy, because septrin is also having sulfur. Amazing. So, immunosuppressants, we are suppressing immunity. What happens when you suppress your immunity through drugs? Infections come in. But remember, we have sepsis already. So if you have IBD, complication is sepsis, and now you're using an immunosuppressant and then an antibiotic. Why would you suppress the immunity though? Of course, it's overreacting. But what caused the overreacting immune system? Subject for confirmation. Anyway, there are drugs here that are actually used also for cancer. Methotrexate. That's a drug that is used for cancer. It's a drug that is used when you have a transplant so that it can suppress your immunity so that your system does not overreact. Okay? Good. And then there's another one that is called azathioprine. Now, do not cram those names. It's none of your business. And then when we've done away with these drugs and nothing is happening, of course, now we have to take you to theater and we get you unconscious, we chop off your intestines, and that is now surgery. When surgery is failing not to work, now we have to take a sample of it, go and take biopsies, and now we confirm you have colon cancer. And now, drug after drug. The system now will give you the anti-cancer agents. The system will give you more immunosuppressant agents. The system will give you radiation. So you see, one condition bringing different conditions through different drugs. You take drugs for this condition, you get side effects of those drugs, and now we have to give you drugs for the side effects of the drugs that were treating a condition. So when you have such conditions, if you're clever, fix the kitchen, because if you don't, you'll be a slave to this, and you'll die of colon cancer, and you'll say, cancer will one day die. It will not. And I want you to tell me as we finish this, please tell me this. How many people who you know who have been diagnosed with cancer, taken for chemo, and came out without complications? And how many people do you know have gone through chemo sessions completely, came out very good, no complications at all, and they've survived like totally, and they are well, like literally, they're even more vibrant than the ratio. What is the ratio of people who you know who have suffered cancer, gone through chemotherapy, came out with complication, versus those who have suffered cancer, went through chemotherapy and came out with complications. You tell me, how many do you know? We've just lost an actress to cancer. Imagine that. We lost the Safaricom guy to cancer. We lost the billionaire guy to cancer. So if you think that medication for cancer will actually change your life for the better, well, I pity you. I pity you. We will resuscitate you as you head to the grave. And I've told you this before. If you sit in a cancer center and you see how pharmacists prepare chemotherapy, you see how those guys are covered with gloves, a gown, a helmet, goggles, and all this covering all over as they are preparing that chemo in that fume chamber. You remember a fume chamber in high school when you're mixing those toxic gases and agents? So somebody's mixing that chemo in that fume chamber. And as they are mixing that chemo, of course, it has to come out in a way that will get into your veins. And then I saw the story of that lady. I felt so bad about it. That this lady came back on a live, and it was a live, no, she shot a video, and she was giving you the updates of how she went through the chemo sessions. And she said that every medication that I'm being given for this condition, the cancer, has more than 41 side effects. Every medication. Do you know they combine it? There's a major combination that is called ABVD. They combine different drugs. So imagine this lady says, each drug that I'm being given, my doctors were so kind and open to me, and they told me, each drug that you are giving you has more than 41 side effects. And of course, they did not tell her what side effects. They just said it has more than 41 side effects. Of course, she has to believe it, right? Because it's cancer. I mean, it's cancer. If you have cancer, what are the chances you can survive? It's not about the doctors to save you. It's about you. I mean, it's your problem, right? So even if I give you a drug that has 100 side effects, it is not my problem. It's your problem. So they told that to her. And then they told her, of course, you're getting complications that are coming from the chemo. So I was listening to her. I listened to that video all like 5 times when she was just narrating. And I was like, where? Of course, at that moment in time, it's too late. And we have to sell you the hope. But imagine that. Imagine her saying that doctors told her each of those drugs, even in one combination, we have about 4 drugs. You can actually just Google the combination of the cancer drugs or cancer therapy. You'll see one combination has 4 drugs or something. And you're told that each of these drugs comes with different side effects. Let's say even it was not 41 the way she was saying. Let's just say 10 side effects. And you know very well that the side effects of those drugs, actually those drugs target the rapidly multiplying cells. Those cells in your mouth, the cells in your genitals, the cells in the bone marrow, the cells in the gut, the cells on your skin. That's why you lose hair on the skin. That's how you have the ulcers in the mouth and the stomach. That's how you end up losing your hair. That's how you end up getting infertility, because they target the rapidly multiplying cells. Now, this is no joke. This is a serious thing, my friends. So, these drugs are coming with all these side effects. And this is a patient who is trying to recover from cancer. And then she was like, anything that you have, please send it to me. I am tired. Okay, I am tired. And I'm not saying I'm giving up. I'm saying I am tired. My friend, look, listen to that statement. I am tired. And I'm not saying I'm giving up. No, I am just tired. Like I've cried all through because of what is happening to me. And you saw her lips just changed. I am trying to survive. I'm trying to fight for my life. But at this moment in time, I am a fighter, but I am tired. May her soul rest in peace. But those conditions that you people can prevent yourself from, please do. We will all die one day. That one is assured. We know that. But any condition that you have control over, that you can prevent yourself from, you see, by the time your body is giving up, you have totally done it so much injustice. It has tried to fix you, and at this point is saying, I am tired also. I can't do this. So you can come on these lives with all the hate energy that you want. You can block me everywhere because I keep shouting things that you don't want to hear. There's no problem. But I believe, just the same way I know, truth is very rare in healthcare. I believe one day you'll want so bad to get somebody to talk to you about health, but there'll be no one. Imagine, you'll want to hear or to get just a snippet of the health information. The way we come here and shout for 2 hours and we leave, there'll be no one. And you'll have these small portions of health in your head. In your head, you'll have very little information about health. Oh, I used to hear cancer comes on sugar. I used to hear this. I used to hear this. But you cannot connect them. You cannot have somebody to actually guide you through this. So why don't you use this advantage now? Why don't you do it now? Why don't you prevent those conditions that you have to prevent, that you have control over? Because I know very well you can protect yourself from seed oils. Don't follow the system. The system is rogue. It doesn't care about it. It cares about the profits. You tell me how the same system can tell you that ghee is not available in the market because there was a drought and cows are dying, but the same system, seed oils are always in season. Yet the same drought affected plants and animals the same way. You tell me that. Tell me, how is it making sense to you? There's no single day you have a deficiency of seed oils. They're always there. But you're being told that the plants, that the animals died because there was a drought, so we did not have enough ghee. But we had enough seed oils. So sunflower, they did not die. So maize was still there. Was there no drought? Hey, my friends, if you just unplug yourself from this nonsense, you're good to go. The choice is in our own hands. We can do better. We can always do better. And we can do better as a team. So therefore, put the energy, the bad energy aside. Because it's going to burn you. It's not going to burn Dr. Lewis. That energy is going to kill you. Put it aside, put emotions aside, and just come on these lives and listen. Just listen, ask questions. I cannot answer all your questions, but I can assure you that most of the conditions that we suffer from, I have addressed them on my YouTube videos, on my YouTube lives. And you might think your disease is special. You need special attention. You don't. Just try it. Just try it. I mean, I don't want a lot of energy from you. Simply try it for 2 weeks and then tell me how it goes. Tell me just how it goes. Some of us will die. Some of us will rest. Choose you. I repeat, some of us will die. Some of us will rest. Choose you.